Hey, Greg Comeaux here at Foxy's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This is my house, a lot of other people's house. So what I'd like to talk about tonight is a lot of questions that I've been getting. One is about recuperation. How long should I recuperate in between workouts? You suggest doing 2 body parts. Here's what I've been doing as of late. This is what I call golf time for me. When it turns summertime, about mid-March, April, I like to start losing weight. I like to change my workouts from heavier to lighter and a lot higher reps, as I've been stating in the majority of my workouts for the past 2 months, till probably November. I love golf. I like doing summertime activities with my significant other and my 9-year-old and my kids that are out in California too. I'm soon to visit with 4 grandkids, so I'm gonna be busy. So I like to lose a little weight, feel in better shape, and my workouts that go like this. I like to work 1 or 2 body parts a day. If I'm working 2 body parts, I'm taking 2 exercises per body part, and I'm usually doing anywhere from like a 20 to 30 rep warm-up. I may do it 2 sets, but I usually do it 1 set, so that's 20 to 30 reps. For instance, let's say I do chest. I'll start off with, I like to use not free weights all the time. I like to use a lot of machines to minimize injuries, especially at my age, being 62. I can definitely be prone to injury a lot sooner and quicker than the younger folks out there. So what I'll do is I'll do a set of 20 to 30 reps. And after that, I'll usually wait about 15 to 30 seconds in between. I like to keep my cardio up, almost like to keep it like a circuit, so I'm getting the benefits of core cardio, I'm stretching, and I'm strengthening, because I'm doing the pliability movements as far as high reps. I think that gives me more of a stretching motion. I'm able to contract, and I still feel like I'm getting the intensity that's at least giving me the build that I want. I'm not gonna get bigger at 62. So to dispel a lot of things that are out there, there's a lot of people out there that are saying, because you're veined out, you look so good, you gotta be on roids. And I tell guys and girls, if you knew how big I was on steroids, then you'd say, okay, I won't be as accusatory. And listen, anybody can look good off of steroids. It just has to be diligent. You have to be consistent with your diet. You got to understand rest and recuperation, how proper and how paramount it is in each of our lives. And you got to factor in activities that you do. For instance, if you have an 8-hour furlough working at a chemical plant or whatever it is you do, you have to factor in mental acuity or the physical attributes that you're going to expound that much calorie burn up a day, that mental focus that you start to lose. You got to factor in, you got to take in those calories, those necessary calories to catch up with that amount you're taking. Usually I'm about 2,000 to 2,500 calories a day. Sometimes I don't eat that much. I'm not a big eater per se. But what I like to do is, getting back to it, 20 to 30 reps in a warm-up. Say I'm doing an upright chest. I'll do maybe 40 to 75 reps. I'm trying to recruit, which I believe with Dr. Tom Cockerham I work with. He's a neuromuscular doctor. He's a great doctor, great former bodybuilder. He understands the concepts of doing higher reps, lighter weights. Now that doesn't mean light weights, but lighter weights for us. Lighter weights for whatever works for you, for 40 to 50 to 60 to 75 reps. We've even gotten up lately in the 100 rep routine. But I mean, when I'm doing those reps, I'm contracting, I'm pumping, and I guarantee it feels like I've done 500-pound benches or 500-pound squats, because I guarantee you I'm volumizing that muscle because I'm gorging it with blood, and I'm being smart about it. I don't contract it all the way up. I think sometimes maybe you can acquire injuries from going all the way down, all the way up. A lot of people say full extension is great. You build the full belly of the muscle. If you watch Phil Heath, who has the greatest build right now, they say, in the world, Phil Heath does a lot of 3/4 and half reps on a lot of things, I noticed. You know, opposite, you see Kai Green, he does absolutely full motions. So, you know, it's apples and oranges, whatever you like, but I like to do about 3/4 motions, and I just pump and I contract, and I'm doing at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping my cardio up. I'm working the most important muscle to me is my heart, definitely, for anyone else out there as well. But I'm pumping that specific area with blood. So I'm getting 40 to 50 to 60, 75 reps, sometimes in some instances 100 reps. Now listen, if you're just starting out, keep it at 30 to 40 to 50, but make the weight light enough to where you can actually feel those contractions, you can feel those movements, so you get a correct range of motion whenever you're doing that, because it is important to get a correct range of motion when you're doing bench. Too many times it's in a flat bench, you see a lot of guys lift their backs, off the bench, but, pretend my back is just straight against the bench and I'm laying upright like so, except I'd be flat on my back. A lot of guys will do things like this and, go 4 or 5 inches. To me, that's for strength purposes. That has no merit or benefit whatsoever at building a good, complete chest and pectoral full. I think you got to do a full movement on it. So, for instance, I'll start out doing bench. I'll do 2 sets, and I promise you, after 2 sets, after one warm-up, 20 to 30, 40 to 50 to 60, 70, whatever it is, 40 to the 100 rep range, whatever suits you, whatever your body can do, your ATP can keep that stamina going, that mitochondria keeps that muscle working, that's the engine that keeps it going. Whatever time frame and length you can sustain, then that's what you want to go. You don't want to tear anything, you don't want to, pass out, but you want to be comfortable. So I'm comfortable because I have the stamina to do it. I've been doing it for, the last 6 or 7 years. 2 or 3 times a year, I like to do this. Now, it's not long. I'll take it, usually those periods I'll take from 30 to 42 days. That's 4 weeks, sometimes 42 days, 45 days. Then I'll stop, I'll rest a week, I'll go on to another program. But for right now, in this time frame, I like to start doing a lot of reps, minimize my injuries. I had a shoulder injury a while back from doing heavy benches, and I thought, okay, I'm done with it. I'm going to keep my reps up high. So here we are, bench press, 2 sets, 40 to say 60 reps. I'm done. And I give myself 30 seconds to a minute rest in between those sets, those exercises. Then after that, I'll take another exercise. Say, for instance, I'll do a cable crossover, or I'll do a pec deck machine. Same thing. I don't want to hyperextend, so I'm not bringing my shoulders all the way back so I don't injure my rear delts. And all I'm doing is just trying to get a pump on that chest. So again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's my cadence, naturally, not my rep count. Of course, the rep count is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So just kind of keep that count there. Everything's consistent. I promise you, you'll start to feel the pump. And I'm absolutely drained. That's chest. So for instance, chest, I'll maybe do a push-pull one day. So I may take chest and biceps that day. I may do a bicep, which is, I can even sit down. I can even take a dumbbell like so, light dumbbells, 20 pounds. And I guarantee I can sit just like so and pump those arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And by the time I'm to 50, I'm working in my brain to where my concentration permeates throughout my body to where I'm feeling like, wow, I'm this pumped with 20-pound weights. I used to laugh at my oldest brother when I was younger because he was sitting there with light weights and everybody would laugh at him because he was so consistent with like 30-pound barbell curls, but yet he had the hardest, toughest, roundest biceps I've ever seen in my life, besides maybe a Berto Fox or maybe Arnold on the Education of a Bodybuilding cover. But Tom Comeaux had unbelievable biceps, and he was smart about it. But I didn't learn it till years later, once I stuck my ego elsewhere, took it out of the equation and thought, maybe light weights is the way to go. Not for everyone, but I promise you, you can get a round-bellied muscle, whatever muscle you're working, by working it. Intensity is just that. It comes heavy, it comes light, it becomes medium. It's in light reps. It's in less reps. It's in more reps. It just depends on your flow of intensity, how much you put into it. So that's a question that I get from a lot of people. Say, for instance, I'll do 2 exercises. Those exercises will be, for instance, 30 reps warm-up, 40 to 75 reps 2 exercises per body part, chest. Then I'll take 2 exercises for, say, let's do biceps tonight. I'm doing these guys right here, alternating dumbbell curls or dumbbell curls like so. I may turn into Zotman curls, which is kind of working my forearms. Once I get a little too pumped here in the bicep, at the end sometimes, the last 20 or 30 reps, I do cut those forearms across my body, so there's nothing wrong with working the forearms with the biceps. And of course, in the end, I may go to the cables, and I may pull out the cables just like so, and just do bicep curls, just like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I guarantee you, that's 4 sets, and I promise you, I am absolutely beat, I'm pumped up, and I feel like I've went through a 2-hour rigorous workout. But I think, in my estimation and my experimentation, along with Tommy Cockerham, the doctor who is sitting here monitoring me over the past couple of months, I can gain and lose weight like I want, depending on what I eat. Of course, I love, excuse me, this is my phone. Of course, I do like the cuisine down here in Louisiana. It's a tough one to beat, but for the most part, I eat pretty damn clean. Probably 6 days a week, I eat damn clean. And that's because I care how I look. I want to look good so I can show you guys and girls out there, if I can do it at 62, you can do it at 22, 32, 42, 52, you can do it at 72 years of age. Now, maybe you aren't going to have the skin, you're not going to have, you know, aside from the wrinkles, because I'm older and I have a couple of wrinkles in my forearm, that just comes with age. You can't stop that. But you can stagger, you can stifle age by keeping in shape, by eating correctly, by hydrating yourself throughout the day, by sleeping good at night. You know, rest and recuperation is paramount to your body because you lower your cortisol levels, you stop the inflammation in your body, you don't stifle your body. Your body's able to make some changes in it, and I promise you those changes will come quick. If you give yourself, you know, 5 to 10 weeks to 14 weeks to really start a correct eating habit that's clean, that's consistent every single day. If you go to work, make sure you bring yourself some food in Tupperware. You know, forget going out to the restaurants and consorting with everybody else and sitting there eating the junk food because everybody else is doing. I don't care what people think of me. People think of me good enough because they say, how in the hell do you stay in shape at 62 years of age? Because I walk to the beat of a different drum. But there's a lot of people out there walking to the beat of a different drum, especially a lot of women. I got to give props to women. Women are in bodybuilding and in fitness and in figure competition and in personal training like they balance checkbooks. They're excellent. My mom was excellent at balancing checkbooks, at tending to the garden, at washing clothes, at whatever she did, she was meticulous about it. And I think women have brought that work ethic to bodybuilding and to fitness, and you learn a lot from them. Listen, I learned from people who are just starting out, people who have been in the business for 30 years, people who are in aerobics, people who are in yoga. I take something from everybody, I spin it myself, I experiment, and when it starts to work for me, I can start to talk about it with people. I can start to share it with people. If it doesn't work for me, I'll go on to something else, but I promise you, this high rep, lighter weight has started to work for me. I get real good muscles, you know, full muscles, you know, my calves, you know, are right at 19. You know, I can go down to 17 if I start doing sprints. I stay even more ripped, and people are like, Jesus, what are you on? And I tell them life. That's what I'm on, life. And if I ever do steroids again, which I may again in my life if technology permits, and it's okay for my health, and it's what I need to feel better at 70 or 80 years of age, I promise you to stay alive for my 9-year-old, my grandkids and people. I will do whatever it takes. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to do street drugs or anything like that, but I will go to the correct people that are out there to these anti-aging clinics, and I promise you, I will make those necessary changes, not out of egoism because I'm old now. But the fact is, I still want to maintain a quality of life where I get up every day and say, wow, I don't really have aches and pains. And that's because I'm not consuming all the sugars that that lead to the inflammations, the high lactic acid buildups after workouts. And if I have lactic acid and soreness buildup after workouts, then guess what? I'm taking myself some Bragg's apple cider vinegar. You know, I'm putting a little lemon or grapefruit in it with a teaspoon of honey, and I'm drinking it down twice a day, and I promise you, I feel good. I'm lucky. Am I blessed? Yes, absolutely. We're all blessed if we're above the ground. But the smart thing is to be meticulous about how you eat, to be meticulous about how you train, because the smartest thing I've learned, and I learned this from my oldest brother, I learned it from a lot of guys in bodybuilding, a lot of women, and they're right along the way. The more time you spend eating and sleeping correctly and rehabbing your body correctly, irregardless of whether you have an injury or not, the better you're going to look, the better you're going to feel, and you're going to realize, I don't need to spend that much time in the gym. I don't need to do heavy benches unless you're a power lifter, and those guys are phenomenal. Those girls are phenomenal. It's got its place, and you know, I wish I could be a power lifter or that, but you know, my strategy was I want to look good. I want to be the turtle. I'd like to look like the rabbit and be fast, but I'd like to be the turtle, especially at this age in my life. I think I want to cross that finish line, you know, first, but I also kind of want to be last. It's kind of a, you know, a hit and miss thing, the chicken or the egg, which came first. You know, the turtle was slower, he won the race. Well, if I win the race, to me, it's not crossing that finish line. It's living out my life till I take that last breath with a great quality of life, where I'm here for my kids, I'm here for my better half, you know, I'm here for my friends, I'm here to help educate people and teach people what I've learned along the way from God knows how many guys in the sport, God knows how many doctors I was fortunate enough, and I am fortunate enough to be friends with, you know, the Tommy Cockerhams, the Dr. Johnstons that are out there, you know, there's so many people that I've met along the way, Terry DeBro, people that have educated me on the specifics of parallels and distinctions that I can impart to people out there that I was fortunate enough to learn from those guys, and girls along the way. Lynn Yanni, there's been a lot of people I've learned from. So, you know, my advice to people is take 2 body parts, train it hard, try it for 40 days. Take 1 day on, bust your ass. The next day, take it off. Come in and do cardio for 30 minutes. You don't need to sweat your butt off to get in shape. Sweating is not constituting getting in shape, because you're probably going to rehydrate yourself and gain it back anyway afterwards. What's getting into shape is eating properly, hydrating your body properly, sleeping well, waking up energized so your body can burn off its own fat storages after a while itself, because you're treating it right. And when you rehab, you stay out of the gym and you know when to go in, when to work those muscles out. This is what I say. I look at a week as a 10-day period. So I'm giving myself, instead of 7 days, to cram in so many different workouts. I've learned 10 to 12 days is a great week for me. That way I'm not rushing it. I'm able to let my body rest, but I'm working each body part probably 2 times in that 10-day, 12-day period. So I'm a day on, a day off. I may be a day on, I may be 2 days off. It's all relative to how you feel, how your body feels, but I promise you, if you give yourself a day on and a day off, you're working 2 body parts, try the high reps, try the lower weights, and that doesn't mean going super light, but I promise you, once you learn those contractions are in there pumping and volumizing your body, that specific area that you're working with blood, and you feed it the proper nutrients afterwards, you go home and rest. And I promise you, after about 7 to 10 days, you'll start to make results, and you'll start to make gains, but not gains in so much as size, but gains in the look of your muscle. The symmetrical aestheticness of your body will start to take shape. You know, they say, why is a guy at 250 get under lights in bodybuilding? I never could understand that. I wanted to be huge, but yet you'd see guys like Flex Lewis that's out there. You know, Sean Ray was a, you know, epitome of so many people that wanted to look like Sean, because the guy could come in there at 205 pounds, you know, 198 pounds, and absolutely blow your mind, because he was ripped from head to toe, yet he was covered in real good-looking aesthetic muscle. And that's because the guy was attentive to and diligent to everything he did in bodybuilding as well as outside of the gym. So What I'm saying is 2 exercises, 2 body parts, try it. 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 2 days off, 1 day on, take the weekend off. Go for a bike ride. Go for a walk with your kids or play with your kids. Enjoy other activities. Don't stress yourself out and say, gosh, I got to make gains. I got to make my body get in great shape. Your body will treat you right if you treat your body right. So this is Greg Comeaux. If you guys got if you got any answers about anything, I'm not telling you to can what you're doing right now. If you're doing something right now that's working for you, you can take bits and pieces for what I'm telling you. What I'm saying though is if you're just starting out, you want to make some significant round muscular gains and you want to stay ripped at the same time, you want to work that hard, you want to keep that midsection feeling good, try this for a while. Try it for 40 days. I promise you, if you're diligent and you're honest with yourself and you're true to your diet, to your clean eating, and you're resting properly, leave the booze, leave the cigarettes, leave the sugar, leave the breads, leave the milks, leave the simplex carbohydrates alone. That is the candies, the white potatoes, the white rices. Leave those things alone for 40 days. I always tell people, what would it be worth to you if I could give you the body that you want in 40 to 60 days? What would it be worth? A Ferrari? A house? Would it be worth millions of dollars? Well, this is what I tell people. As you get older, that battery's breaking down at a 2-to-1, at a 3-to-1 ratio, especially as you get past that 50-year point. Everything starts to break down. Anatomically, it's just the way it is. We're born to die, but I think you can have a great quality of life each and every day, born the good Lord, keeps your blessings, and you're going to get a disease or something, that can hinder you bad. You got to see your blessings are there. I always tell my kids, don't waste a day. Don't waste it with your body. Treat yourself like the temple we were given. Treat it with good food. Treat it with water. Treat it with respect, with love, with dignity, and sincerity to you most of all. To thyself be true. You can have a great quality of life. And in the day that you're sick with diabetes is rampant down here in Louisiana because unfortunately people are eating bad. They're drinking a lot all across the United States. Diabetes is an epidemic. Obesity is an epidemic. For the first time in our lives, we may outlive our children. So we owe it to our kids to set those finite examples so they can say, my dad's not eating it. My daughter is more picky than I am. And I'm like, geez, what would you like to eat tonight? She likes to eat clean. It's why she's in pretty damn good shape at her age. So you have to stay in damn good shape, and you have to treat your body right each and every day of your life because you never promise tomorrow. So all I'm telling you guys and girls is, I want everybody to make changes. It makes me feel good because at this age in my life, I can be gone tomorrow. So if I'm known for nothing else more than a little bit of a glorified personal trainer, that's good enough for me. If I make a difference in people's lives, like I talked with a doctor today, he's a great man. He's fallen on a tough disease, but he's a sweetheart because he lives his life to help other people. And that's what it's all about. If you can touch other people's lives and give other people hope and take them out of despair, take them out of anger, take them off the couch, take them out of the bad eating habits, or take them out of drugs, take them out of suicide tendencies, I promise you, you can change your life if you start to eat right. Just take those 2 exercises, take those 2 body parts and work them day on, day off, day on, 2 days off, and do it just like that for 40 days. And I promise you, it'll take you to a place you've never been before. Your body will it's so resilient, it will blow your mind. Even if you're just starting out, even if you have an injury, go slow. The turtle won the race. I may even look like a turtle now because I'm wrinkled, I'm a little older, but you know what? I feel damn good at 62 years of age. That's what I want you guys to do too. So if you guys, girls, got any questions, I'm sitting here with Miss Christie, and I'd love to answer anything y'all want to ask.
Scroll down and just read comments and questions?
Sure.
Okay. Keith Hall says, my hero, I am 50. Hope I look as good as you in 12 years. That's very sweet.
Thank you, Keith.
Kelby Nelson is asking about supplements, and Ronnie Medina is asking about what to eat. Those are kind of similar questions.
Sure.
I kind of merged those.
Okay, supplements. Listen, GNC, I live at GNC. They have evolved with women's proteins, women's products, you know, for before workouts, after workout. They have sleep products. I mean, they absolutely have their vitamins are second to none. If you want to go online and get some incredible aminos, which is what I live with, Dante that owns True Nutrition, it doesn't get any better than that. Silk aminos are made, harnessed by Japanese from the silk butterfly, and I'll tell you what, these are better than steroids to me. I mean, my body blows up, my stamina is off the charts, and I have reserves to just keep going. I have to absolutely stop myself, because I'm like, I get to the 100 rep mark sometimes, you know, with 6 plates on a leg press, and I'm like, is this real or not? I can't believe I'm even doing this. Irregardless of what age you're at, that's a lot of reps. And, you know, I can thank Tom Cockerham for implementing those workouts to me, because it doesn't get any brighter than this kid, this man at working out. He's a doctor, but he understands the exercise and the physiology that goes along with the chemistry involved. And he turned me on to True Nutrition about a year ago. And the silk aminos that I take are unbelievable. So, I mean, you can go online. That's True Nutrition. They pay me nothing to say this. I wish they would, but it doesn't matter, because they're a lifesaver for me. I mean, as far as before I work out, I take them, and after I work out, I mean, I'm religious with it, because I feel like they help me sleep at night. And if you even want to sleep at night and you don't have the money, True Nutrition is they're pretty darn affordable. But, you know, if you don't have time to get on the internet, you feel that's an arduous process, going over to GNC or vitamin shops here in Baton Rouge or anywhere around the country. You know, you got Max Muscle, you got a great product out there with Nutrisport. Go get you a casein protein. That'll put you at night if you have problems sleeping. Take it and go down for good sleep. Wake up. What it does is it's a time-release protein that helps you sleep at night, so it infuses your body at different points, you know, during the night. So you wake up and you're not famished. You're not reaching for, you know, the sugar cereals or things out there. I wake up, I eat a bowl of oatmeal. You know, I eat 4 or 5 egg whites. Sometimes I put 2 yellows in there, scramble it. I may even put a little cheese for a little fat in there. There was something to Atkins' diet. Some things I didn't agree with, but a lot I did. But, you know, so I'll take a complex carbohydrate. I'll usually stick blueberries, raspberries, or banana, or, you know, strawberries, a little Sweet and Low, or Splenda in there, a little non-fat milk. And that's my morning meal. And throughout the day, I'm usually drinking a protein shake or 2 or 3 during the day. I love the liquid in my diets. That way I can get the necessary calories down, because I, again, am not a big eater. If I was never going to make it in bodybuilding, which I wasn't going to be a Phil Heath of these guys, it's probably because maybe I just didn't have the genetics, but also, and I had some good genetics, but not like those guys, but I just could not eat those amounts of food that these cats eat. Hey, you know, it's not a bad problem to have, but I try to eat healthy throughout the day. I'm always munching on walnuts. I'm always munching on almonds. And instead of putting salads on my food, Christy will always say, geez, what are you doing? I'm like my bearded dragon. We have a little lizard, and I'll reach in there with, you know, my handful of salad, and I'll eat it raw. To me, it's a means to a better end, and it's good food. It's healthy for me. It's greens, and it's chlorophyll that is going to fill my body up and maybe clean out my arteries and keep me alive a little bit longer. So I try to do that twice a day, and I'm always eating myself an apple, getting some pectin in there, and I like that. That helps me go to the bathroom in the mornings consistently, because that's a big thing. A lot of people are clogged up because they start to get on these high protein diets, and all of a sudden they get backed up and stopped up. So make sure you have necessary fiber in there. I do that with my oatmeal, sometimes 2 times a day. I'll eat it at night before I go to sleep. Sometimes I just like it. Carbohydrate doesn't keep me up, but I feel like before and after workout I always need a good complex carbohydrates. And other than that, fruits, vegetables, chicken, fish, and as of late, I really love making turkey burgers for everybody. My 9-year-old loves it. Christy likes it. I like it. Everybody likes it. So, you know, they're easy to cook. I, you know, either broil them, bake them, or cook them in a frying pan, and I put a little olive oil on it, and and I'm good to go, you guys, girls. And I'm always drinking water, always drinking water. No Cokes, no Diet Cokes. Even if they would sponsor me, I'm sorry. I can't say it, but I do like Cokes once in a while, I do. And I do like my sweets, I can't lie, but I try to minimize them. Diabetes ran in my family, and there were some problems along the way with people in my family that had it. So I don't want to, that culprit to get me. So I try to stay on the narrow path of eating pretty good. And after a while, you know, you get the palate for it, and your body starts to say, you know, I don't want the junk food. I mean, I can drink 5 or 6 sips of Coke and, you know, or pie, and I'm good after 3 or 4 bites. And when I was young, growing up, geez, it was a staple of I wanted to come in and eat cookies, you know, Oreos, and I wanted to drink milk with it. I wanted peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But as I've gotten older, I realized the merit, good foods being a staple of what I do every day is going to get me where I want to go, and that is have a better quality of life, still maintain my muscle at 62 years of age and feel good. And that's all I can ask for. That's all any of us can ask for, is to be better for ourselves, our kids, and people we love. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope everybody gets something out of this. And I think she has more questions for me.
This one concerns me. Robert, I'll probably say your name wrong, so I'm not going to say it. I'm 18 and took straight creatine, but developed an ulcer from it. And now, not taking it, I've lost 6 pounds, and my leg muscles are cramping bad, and it's been cramping for 2 weeks now.
Well, I'm glad you talked about it, but I don't have anything.
So I want you to answer that.
I'm not knocking creatine, whoever the makers are of creatine, but I will say this. About a year and a half ago, I tried creatine for the first time in my life back here, and of course, Christy can attest to it. I'd buy this bottle of it, and after 3 or 4 days, I'd throw it away and say, geez, I feel like I'm choking in my sleep because I gained so much water retention from it. And she will tell you right now, because she's on the other end of the camera, and I promise you, I would wake up in the night like I did when I was in track and field back in 1973 in high school. Hey, this is 45 years later. I was getting the most horrible leg cramps I could get in my life. So this will probably cure it for you. Go out and get yourself some Emergen-C. It's a package about $8 to $13, depending on which store you get it from. It's called Emergen-C. It has minerals, vitamins, and potassium in it, and load up on it. Take 2 packs for the next 3 or 4 days. Get it in your system. Stay away from creatine. Listen, I have no problems with the makers that are out there of creatine. It probably works for a lot of people, but I would say maybe that's too young to take it. Unless you know what you're doing, there's a lot of products that are out there, and I think it's not fair. I think at some of these shops, these things are made with a molecule of maybe even close to a steroid or two, but being that kids are so young out there, and you live in a world where peer pressure is a beast. If you don't have muscles, if you don't look like this bodybuilder or this guy on TV or this athlete, you know, you're not in the now. But listen, it's just slow and easy. I was a skinny athlete in high school, 155 pounds, and I didn't start lifting weights to be a beast because I had a problem. I liked it because it helped me excel in sports. And track has always been my first love. It will continue to be my first love forever. And that's what I like. I like track and field. I like the aesthetics of it. I first looked up to a gentleman called Rod Milburn, God rest his soul. He died in an accident at Dow Chemical, I believe, years ago, but he was a gold medalist, and he was a world record holder in the 110 high hurdles from Southern University. He was a brother from Opelousas and one of the most kind, incredible built athletes. So I never looked up to Arnold. I never looked up to a bodybuilder to get to where I am today. Rod Milburn was everything to me growing up. I just thought the guy just was an incredible athlete with a build. He was humble. I guarantee you he never took a steroid, and the guy was just phenomenal. And to me, you know, eat right. My mom used to tell me, the hell with all those products. You're gonna sit here and eat what I tell you to eat. And I used to think, oh please, what do you know, Mom? Well, now her voice resonates in my brain. I lost her March 10th of a year ago, and I promise you, everything she said came to pass. You know, if you eat right, you know, the good foods that God gave us, you can eat 3 or 4 yams a day. That's good substance, complex carbohydrates. You can eat brown rice. You know, those are carbohydrates. Those are the staple of the natural sugars that are going to infuse your body. You know, that carbohydrate is going to keep the nitrate, you know, the water table up in your body. If you're drinking enough, if you're hydrating enough, you're going to infuse your muscles with the right nutrients and components that are going to help you grow. Branched chain amino acids, you know, those are other products that you can take. You can get those on the shelves at GNC or any of your vitamin stores out there. You know, Jay Cutler makes some incredible products. Dorian Yates makes some incredible products. Kai Green stands behind Carnivore. I think it's good. It has a little creatine in it, but not to the point where it can cramp you. So, you know, there's some great products that are out there. You got to be smart, but I do think the creatines are a little perilous. You know, for young kids out there, they're tough. You know, some people can handle it, but if you're getting cramps like me, I've tried it 2 or 3 times because it made me super strong. It made me super big in no time at all. But I can discern at my age that those faster results with that kind of water retention, sure as hell, is not good for you.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
A few comments. Alan Lutz shared the video, which is great. We always appreciate that. Bill Kruger, I'm 51. What's the best pre and post workout should I be taking? I have been using C4 and Progenics.
You know, I've never used C4. I guess C4 is almost like nitro or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with it. Anything that has to do with burning off fat, believe me, I don't need it. I've never taken it. I never will. It's not hard for me to get ripped and stay in shape. It's always been tougher for me to gain weight. But I would say a good protein. Listen, that's a building blocks. Go get some branched chain amino acids and be consistent with them, you know, and be religious about how you take your protein before you work. Just take a protein drink in the morning, take a protein drink before you work out with a carbohydrate mix in it, because you need carbohydrates more than protein before you work out, and make sure you take it after you work out. You know, and take that casein protein at night. It may get a little expensive, but if you want to merit your results being consistent, you have to be consistent with the foods that you eat. And I think when you go out on a branch sometimes and you take some of these quick fixes, I'm not, you know, doubting that whatever it is you were just talking about, you know, has merit to it. There's a lot of products out there, man, that a lot of smart minds have come up with, that people are making gains that are off the charts. It's technology, it's improved, and I can't say that I know a lot about it, but some of it I'm aware of. But you know, you have some test boosters that are out there. You know, we've come up with one as of late, and it should be coming out in the next couple of weeks, and it's a pretty incredible product that I've been trying to take. I've been mum about it until I got the results that I could say something to people out there. So I'll let you know in about the next 2 weeks. But I still got the same wrinkles. I still pretty much look the same. I've probably gotten a little bit bigger, and that's because I've really been eating more than anything, and I've been minimizing my workouts. But take a good protein, take a carbohydrate product, you know, with protein in it, and you know, I can't tell you what you take before you work out, but I don't take anything that's going to, you know, amp me up. I can't feel that way. I'm not even good with coffee. Sorry.
Okay. Clyde Spinelli gave you a thumbs up. Amen, bro.
Oh, I love you, brother. I love Clyde.
Yeah. Hey,
Clyde's my
Clyde.
man.
We do. We always see his name. Michael Dempsey wants to know, when are we going to see a leg workout? They want a leg workout.
Absolutely. Well, you know what is so funny is, I apologize, you guys. I do leg workouts at Planet Fitness because they actually have a squat rack, and they have a they have a leg press that I absolutely love. So I promise you, when I do legs again, and I'll probably do them Friday, I will make Christy come to the gym. She likes Foxy's. She's a creature of habit. I love Foxy's. It's home for me. But I do leg press at Planet Fitness. So I'll go over to Planet Fitness and I'll do that. If I do legs here, I promise you I have nothing against doing them here, because I do legs here too. But irregardless of whether I do them at Foxy's or Planet Fitness, I promise you I will give you guys an awesome leg workout. I'll show you my legs. They aren't huge. You know, they're probably about 28, 29, but I'm veined out. My legs stay in great shape, and my calves as well. I work them, and I'll give you guys a great, simple, effective workout that you can change and keep it butt in shape too, guys. Girls know how to work the butt. Men, you got to work the butt.
Okay.
I got to work the butt.
Eli would like to know, how do you keep your arms so jacked?
You know, I'm smart, and Christy will tell you this too. Sometimes at nighttime when I'm sitting and she's reading, I always make her read to me, you know, off the internet. When I know things, I'm better at getting it told to me so I can interpret it better than me sitting there reading it. If you can believe that, it's probably what I wasn't a genius in high school, never would be. But I like to hear it rather than read it, because reading sometimes, it almost creates a euphoria of narcolepsy in me, and I'll fall asleep more times than not. So I'll sit there, inevitably play the guitar for about an hour at night, and I will take my green bands, or I'll take my little wrist handles, and I sit there and I pump them throughout the day. Do I not?
You do.
I probably pump them 4 days a week, so I probably do a little bit more than I say I do. It's probably why I won't get built. But I mean, you know, I still have good arms. You know, they're okay.
You don't really stay still. Okay, Bill Kruger, what's the best ab workout for us 50-plussers?
Well, the best ab workout I do is this. It's either before I get out of bed or before I go to bed at night. And I do crunches. And the only thing I worry about is that I'm rocking and rolling the bed so she doesn't fall asleep.
The neighbors, if we stay at somebody's house,
yeah,
I'm sure they think
everything's good.
Yeah.
So you guys, girls, I promise you that's time. They're flicking out the lights. And I apologize. Give me one more question.
The gym's about to close. There's some more comments and questions, and I will have him type those out to you.
I promise I will. I love you guys. Thank you for putting up with me and listen to what I have to say. I learn as much from you as hopefully you may learn from me, that we learn from other people along the way. God bless you guys and girls. Have a great night, and keep the peace, y'all. That's what it's about.